Doodlebud. Today we're checking out this little pen. This is from Shibui North. This is her Pocket Fox, very popular little pen. This time we are now looking at a titanium version. So this is pretty neat. It also has some beautiful lines on here. These are laser engraved. This is the Damascus pattern. And it just so happens the other day I had my laser engraver out and I did a Damascus pattern and it was on my little pocket knife. This is not a Damascus steel blade, but I figured fake it till you make it. So it has all these sort of swirls and patterns. The real ones, when you have an actual Damascus knife, what this comes from is the layering effect during the forging of the steel. And there's some etching that goes on to reveal those patterns in the layers. So it looks really cool on a knife, looks cool on a pen. And in this case, it's done on there through laser as well. Now, I was using my X-Tool F1. Now Ruth actually got one after she saw me using them one in my video that has done a bunch of laser engraving. It's not the most powerful laser to do what you're doing here. You need more power. My engraving, I'll get the macro out so you can see, but the engraving I can do in here, it's not overly deep. It's just barely scratching the surface. Getting you up close, you can see those tiny, tiny little dots on there. There's really no depth to it, but it is nice and clean. Here's the difference of what her laser can do with way more power. So she's using that power. Really nice deep engraving. I could never do that with my laser. And as you can see in the background, there's another sleeve and it has another one. This one is just straight up plain titanium. And so she sent a second one. She said, just do as you please. Do something with it. She'd love to see what I come up with. So I'll see what I can figure out using my laser. And also she does some anodizing as well. So the pen, like so, goes, they're all it's in pounds. So 140 pounds. It's an extra 10 pounds to get a flame anodizing on it. She'd also like to see what I can do with some anodizing. So expect to see a follow-up video where I start to have a little bit of fun with these. It's a nice compact pen, very similar to, say, the Kaweco Sport. This is the piston version. That's a Gravitas Pocket, and that's the Jinhao 82. And here we are posted, so you can see very similar to the Kaweco Sport size. Definitely has a little bit more girth to it, and also, as you can see here at the front end, the business end of the pen, we do have a full-size number 6 nib. This is a stainless steel nib, and as you can see, she went ahead and carried on that Damascus pattern onto the nib as well. Due to the size, it's a 3-piece design, and due to the size of those sections, this one just fits cartridges. Now there are some of the little converters. I know some of the squeeze ones and whatnot. Sometimes they can be a little bit tough if you have to pull them by the bulb to take them out. Pull them by the bulb. You can only say that in fountain pens and get away with it. Anyways, so I just stick mine with cartridges. This right now has the Pelican 4001 Royal Blue in it. Being made out of grade 5 titanium, feels nice and solid, secure in the hand for sure, but it's not overly heavy. It's got a good weight to it, just shy of 32 grams, but that's not overly heavy. So the pen, it's nice, nicely balanced. Now, some folks don't like shiny metal pens because obviously they can be slippery in the hand and tough to grip and hold. With this one here, with this laser engraving that's on here, because it's a way stronger laser than I have, you're actually really ablating the material on there. It does leave a little bit of a roughness to it. Not as extreme as a cat's tongue, but it does have that little bit of a texture. So there's no problems whatsoever gripping this pen. I've had this pen for a little bit for the review, and you know, we had this really weird cold snap all of a sudden. My hands were cold, and I happened to have the pen with me that day. No problems whatsoever. If it was all slick, it'd be a little bit tricky using that. But yeah, it has a nice texture to it. So for those who are, you know, kind of turned off by metal pens because they feel it's too slick, this might be the one that wins you over. Lots of texture to it, lots of grip for those who need a good grip with their pen. Yeah, you're gonna like that. The threads here on the back are nice and smooth. They're not irritating whatsoever or sharp. So if you do, you know, depending on your hand size, if it does fit just fine in your hand, no way for me. But if that were to rub into the pocket there of your hand, it's not gonna chew it up or anything. It's nice and smooth. The cap, this is probably my only gripe with the pen. It does take 4 full rotations to remove the cap. So if you're looking for something that's super quick to cap and uncap, that might not be the ticket for you. That might be a deal breaker for you. It's a single start thread, so that's sort of my only recommendation with the pen. is that you can change it to multi-start or just change the thread profile, and you can do a 1 rotation or 2 rotation even though you only have a single start thread. But one thing that is nice is the threads do seal the pen very well. I haven't had a single instance of hard starting, you know, from nib dry out or anything at all like that. So that's super handy in a pen for me. That's a super important feature, is the cap seals and the nib keeps wet. The dimensions of the pen, so when the cap is on and it's sealed up, you get 104 millimeters. The cap off unposted, it's 100. And then like so, I'm getting 127.8. Body diameter is consistent the whole length of the pen, so about 12.6, 12.7. Now I've been enjoying this little Lamy pad ever since I received it, so we're going to use that for the writing sample today. And again, the ink I have in here, it's a cartridge, Pelikan 4001 Royal Blue. Overall, writing with the pen has been great. I've been carrying it around in my pocket for some time. I'll leave it for some time, put it back in my pocket, take it with me here and there. It's been performing well. It might have missed just the odd time during the writing sample. That's just due to the fact when you're doing a review, you're talking about the pen for quite some time. The cap is off. Sometimes it does dry because the cap's been off for 15 minutes and leads to an occasional skip until I get a lot more flow going after I do a bunch of writing. But overall, nice and smooth, tune is good, and it's just always ready to go. So thanks again goes out to Ruth over at Shibui North for kindly providing this Pocket Fox in titanium for review. Overall, been pretty pleased with the pen. The laser engraving's pretty neat. Who knows? I got this blank canvas one that she supplied for me. Let's see where that takes us. Do I do my own version of a Damascus to see how they compare, or something different altogether? Don't forget, there's some titanium anodizing stuff I can do here too. So I think I can have a little bit of fun with these. Like I said, overall pretty pleased. My only one critique would be just seeing about reducing the number of turns for capping and uncapping and posting the pen. That would be the only way to improve it. Other than that, it's great. It's reliable, lightweight, yet strong, and fits in a pocket nicely, and it's always ready to go. We'll leave it there. Check out her site for more details and some of her other pens as well. Links will be down there. That button's meant to hit, so is that one, and we'll catch you next time.